Hi guys, hey, it's Angie with Feisty Butterfly Tarot, and today we are doing a spread. It's called Killing Bluebeard, and it is a tarot spread for restoring your wild self. So if you don't know the Bluebeard story, it's an old fairy tale about a girl who marries this bad guy who has murdered off all of his wives, and she goes into the basement where she can unlock with keys anywhere she wants. But if she goes to the basement, she's not allowed, then she'll be in trouble, basically. And she goes down there and unlocks and finds all the dead wives' bodies. So then she calls in help and blah, blah, blah. So it might be worth looking at if you're not familiar with it. But we're going to take a look at this. We're doing this spread. It's from Monica Stark. So we're going to take a look at it. All right. It's a 6-card spread. This is my first time doing it, so we're going to just start. Okay. Yeah, this is a little bit deeper waters than some of my reads. So, all right, we've got okay, and we got some sage going, so that's good. Here we are with the Bluebeard spread. So, angels, ancestors, spirits, and all those who can help, let's figure this out. All right, we've got the first card, the 3 of Cups, and the question is, what is the nature of my predator, the enemy of my wild self? Ooh, 3 of Cups. Then we have 2 and 3. I want you to be able to see this as we go. So, this here. We've got 1 and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? So question 2 is, what do I know deep in my soul that I wish I didn't? So we're going to start with that. Wow. Okay. What is the predator? What is the predator? The enemy of my wild self is the 3 of Cups. This could talk about actual intoxication, drinking substances, over-celebrating, overindulgence, hedonistic tendencies, leaning too heavily on the community, letting their opinion or the group opinion be more important than your own opinion, and not knowing what your truth is, not coming up for air, over-celebrating if it's in this position. The 3 of Cups is also about celebrating and not recognizing the community, or celebrating a little too heavily. Partying a little too hardy. It says, remember, the predator is not usually as it seems. Bluebeard appeals to our weaknesses and seduces us into ignorance. 3 of Cups. Okay. Next out, the Wheel in reverse. And it says, and reverses, I'll give you the cautions whenever they're in reverse. You take it as it resonates. I think upright is enough. The key to what I know deep in my soul that I wish I didn't. And it's the Wheel. This is where there's some things that are destined, some things that are fated, things that happen. It's usually a good luck. This one's in reverse. Maybe it's good fortune that the girl in the story finds her way out of her home of origin or into a marriage, and she thinks she's lucky, but then all of a sudden after she opens the basement and discovers the dead wives, she knows she's not. So what is this that we don't want to know? Maybe we rely too much on fate, too much on luck, and say, oh well, whatever happens, happens. Maybe we think only the good things can come in our path on our journey in life, and we know that there's also things that don't feel like they're good in the moment. Maybe there's a cycle that needs to close out and we're just too busy in an avoidance pattern. And we know it, we know better. I mean, if you've ever had a hangover, you know better. Okay, the third card representing the dead wives. Ooh. The dead wives are represented by the Page of Coins. Okay, were you bought? That comes to mind out of whatever, Sage and Smoke, were you bought? Particularly in this story. Number 3, what of myself lays, dying or dead? What part of my psyche has Bluebeard preyed upon? Maybe the value, your sense of value, your sense of worth. Maybe you thought you were getting a good deal, a fair bargain. Maybe you thought this next step, like in the story, she gets married, that's her next step. This is the student moving forward. Maybe that next step is, okay, you thought this would be the be-all, end-all, this would be it, you've got this handled, you're ready for this, and maybe you really, really weren't. So your whole sense of worth, your whole sense of structure, your whole sense of independence could be challenged. Number 4, the brothers. In the story, she goes up to the roof after finding the bodies. She goes up to the roof and calls on her brothers to come rescue her. And she's just basically shouting from the rooftops and calling for help and running so she doesn't get caught from this murderous guy. The guy who presents nice but then takes your soul. Narcissist much? Yeah. Okay. So, the One of Cups. This is the brothers. What do I call upon to help me? The Ace of Cups. So there is an offering of love. There is one solid truth that's a love truth that you know. One offering of love, one emotion that you know, that rings true to the bone, that you absolutely know for sure. When you think of it in the more spiritual, emotional, intuitive type sense, that could be calling on your God, calling on the universe, the higher, the divine, whatever that is, calling on your higher self, calling on your spirit, knowing what that is and knowing that you can find a way through this, knowing truth from fiction, knowing real emotion from phony baloney nonsense, knowing what real love actually is and how it flows. Okay? Okay, next out, killing Bluebeard. How can I neutralize and dissemble the predator? Wow. Okay, so we're talking about narcissists and Bluebeard being a narcissist. Sometimes this card reminds me of that very thing. In reverse, that could be this. The King of Wands is very powerful, very fiery, very magnetic, appealing, and attractive. Doesn't have a lot of close friends, could easily be isolated. Tends to get people enrolled in his agenda. So if you're thinking of this in this story, and you're the girl in the Bluebeard situation, you've already got the keys to every room in the house, right? You've already discovered the worst thing that you can discover, and now you know the predator's going to be after you. You have to outfox him. You have to outsmart him. You have to outfire him. You have to be able to... If you meet a narcissist on their own turf, you better be able to out-talk, out-maneuver, out-smooth, or outrun, right? And you better know what false BS is and know it when you see it and call them out on it, because they don't like being called out on their shit. They don't like being called to the fact, to the truth. And if you're the King of Wands and you have that firepower under your control and you can take them to task, this is the time to do that. It says, how do I neutralize and dissemble the predator. So if you are involved with a Bluebeard and you realize you're the King of Wands, you realize that power, you realize you have command of your own passions, of your own trajectory, of your own ambitions, and you realize nobody else gets to take away from your fire or your light. So you let your light shine and move a past and beyond and out of the way and forward and through. And if you really have a Bluebeard that you're interacting with, dealing with, get the hell out of there. Get the hell out of there. Call somebody, make a plan where you can get out and away. If that means packing documents or whatever it is you need to pack on, you take it and you go, okay? All right. If this is an internal thing and not an external, if this is you pursuing yourself, it would feel probably like self-doubt, continually questioning your own judgment on things, questioning your own sanity, questioning if things will ever get better, if this wheel will ever turn in your favor again, letting depression weigh so heavy on you that you think, why even bother? You get really, really dark in that zone when you're with your shadow side. And the King of Wands calls you back, says, here's your fire. There is reason to have light. Find one good thing. Find one little light in the dark. The self-doubt, the lies that whisper to you when you're not sure and not confident. They're beyond deceptive. They are dark trickery, contentious evil afoot in your mind when it's up here. Okay, they whisper and slither like snakes up there. They don't let the truth ring out. Rely on that emotional truth, on that loving truth, when you were loved, when you felt that, and when you knew it. Go back to your intuition. Have that fire lit again, okay? And then 6, the buzzards. What can the energy of my predator be transformed into? All of this energy of this experience has given you 5 swords. What can it be transformed into? 5 of Swords is considered the bully fight, winning at any cost, the battle at any cost. And you see one guy is dead on the ground and the other guy is getting up to rise again and go forward. And what this can be transformed into is a knowledge, a sure knowledge of the truth that you have, the one that stands behind you, where you can get up, rise again, and go forward. And you'll be on the lookout. You'll know more of the narcissist when you see them. You'll know the bully when you see them. You'll know how to dodge all the flattery and all the, ooh, shimmer, shimmer, kind bullshit stuff. And within yourself, you know your bad habits, you know your toxicity, you know when you're in that dark space, and you know what's really true. You know what the love is, and you know when you need to seek help and knowledge that you can. There is a way to go away from that fight. Okay, that's the Bluebeard read. I hope it's helpful. I hope it's interesting and good. And I'm going to take one of these from the Angel Tarot, maybe 2, and leave you with a parting thought. This one wanted to come as well. The Moon and the Star. Well, okay. So even if you feel like there isn't light, even if you feel some deception, the Moon has light for you. This one says, listen to your intuition, pay attention to the signs of the divine. Unnecessary worry is happening. Let go of your fears, revelations that will make everything clear. Then the other one is the Star. Beautiful, look at that. And it says, have faith that the future is bright. Dreams come true. Positive changes bring an end to challenging times and light at the end of the tunnel. Wow, that is great. That is great. So these are what you've been through. This is you. You can do this. Get through it. All right. Good luck to you all. Come see me again. I hope you've enjoyed this. Take care, everyone.